Okay, we are live. Welcome everybody to our 9th SPOCRA live stream session. This session today is going to be very exciting. We have a special guest with us again. His name is Maarten. I'll let him introduce himself in a minute. I'll just go through a quick agenda so we know what we're going to be talking about and covering, and then I'll turn it over to Maarten. So one second here. Let me pull this up. There we go. Need more windows.
What's up, Jonathan?
I have a lot of windows open.
What's up, Ron? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's happening, James? How we doing, John?
You're right.
And this is Maarten?
Yes.
Yeah,
Cool. How's it going, Maarten?
it's cool. It's good.
All right, are we seeing my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so today's live stream agenda, like I said, we have Maarten Menheere. He's with M2 Tech, and he's going to talk about his projects that he's working on. They're very exciting. We'll run through some questions, and then once we get to the end, then we'll open it up for whoever's here. Feel free to throw in a few questions as he's walking through the demo, but typically we like to keep all the questions towards the end once he's done with his presentation. And with that, Maarten, I will pass it on to you. If you can just give us a quick background and your story on how you got into Cardano, I think that would be nice for everybody.
Well, I got in Cardano last year. I read some technical news sites. I'm an engineer, so I like to read Ars Technica. I don't know if you know them, or Slashdot. And they were talking about the next bull run coming, like the halving event. And I thought, oh, well, maybe I get into Bitcoin this time instead of the time when it was 5 cents. So I bought I bought a little bit, and then, I thought, well, that is interesting, but there's a lot of other coins as well. And then I tried almost everything, including Ethereum, Polkadot, just to see how it works. And in the end, Cardano was working the best for me.
So your main motivation for getting into crypto is because you were interested in how this technology worked, or was it more just because you saw like price increasing and you wanted to jump in on that train?
Initially, but it's
Right.
not the main. I'm a technical guy, so I like to know how stuff works. So I always take apart everything and then try to put it back together. So,
You know, Maarten,
Yes.
you made an interesting statement. I don't want to interrupt, but I do want to kind of dig deeper. I go into like the social environment and I talk to people about Cardano. And so could you help me or explain a little bit better as to, you said Cardano worked better for you. What specifically about Cardano made you feel like when you looked at everything else and all those other coins that Cardano was the best? I would really love to understand that.
I read about staking, and I tried Polkadot, and I tried staking on Polkadot, and it took 3 weeks to get delegated, and then I didn't see anything happening. The site was very slow, so it didn't work. And then I tried Cardano, and it was like 2 days. There was 10 days. And you see what is happening, that you really are getting delegated.
Mhm.
And you can still use your money, which is in Polkadot, it's locked. So I was in Polkadot when it was going down very fast.
Mhm. Thank you.
At that time, it doesn't really seem like a very happy place to be. So, yeah, it was very restrictive, Polkadot, and Cardano was like very easy. I mean, you can take your money out easily. Take some time for your delegation to propagate, but it is very obvious how that works. So that seems to be very well thought out. So, and it seems to be that this philosophy is applied everywhere in Cardano. So, I mean, it all seems well thought out. So,
Very
yeah.
cool.
And another thing I don't like about Polkadot is that the validators, which are like the stake pool operators kind of in Cardano, if they do something that they're not supposed to be doing on the network, the people that are staked are part of their pool, and that's not what's called in Polkadot, but they'll actually get slashed rewards, so they get penalized for the actions of the validators,
which is so weird, I think.
But that is fine with me if you are very flexible in where you want to go then at that moment. But it's so time consuming to switch delegators, and it's not very easy to see which is good. I mean, in Cardano, it's not perfect, but it's better. and the sites, I mean, ADA pools is very quick, and I tried the Polkadot delegator sites, and they were almost not responsive. So I'm not sure how. At the time, it was not a great experience. So
I had the same experience. I actually messed around with Polkadot too, and I kind of I was the same. Like I was like, I want to check what they're doing over here, and so I tried it, and I had a similar experience, and I kind of I was like, Cardano is where I'm staying, because this I'm not happy with this.
Yeah, and the fees on Ethereum were, I mean, I spent some money on fees. Don't know. I don't even want to know how much.
Right. We're starting to hear that everywhere.
It's not even funny anymore. I don't think.
No, I feel bad. Like, I know people that have a ton of money in Ethereum, and they're like, I can't spend it. I'll lose most of it if I try and move it. And so they're literally stuck because it's just not worth moving it. And that just doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some of that where it's like, maybe I have to wait for E3 to do something with this. Again.
Maybe it's a brilliant move to lock money onto the network. I don't know, but I don't think people appreciate it. You know?
No, it's not functional.
Yeah, true.
Awesome.
But we'll have to see what happens when Cardano gets loaded. I mean, it's going to happen.
It is, absolutely. We all agree with that, I think.
And the top is higher, but there is a top to everything. So I don't know. We will see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Okay, well, that gives us a nice insight into how you got into Cardano. And why you decided to start developing on it. Can you tell us more about M2 Tech? And was this a company that you started getting into Cardano? Is this an existing company? And just kind of like the what, why, and how of M2 Tech.
I am an industrial designer. At the Technical University in Delft, the Netherlands. So I create products, and it's consumer focused. So you create products to make them in industrial scale. So you learn how to have every fabrication technique, and then make a good plan that you can make it like 1,000 quickly. I mean, how most products are made, but if you know the background a little bit, it's there's a lot of work in every product, so that's very interesting. Cool. So I was in payment systems. I can show you something about it. Wait a second.
All right, show and tell time.
Love it.
I bet this is the coin sorter that he's built. It's phenomenal.
The coin the coin sorter.
Yeah.
It's like you can put money in the top here.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then.
So is this like when you go to like a Walmart or like a department store like that, like, and they got when you walk in those coin machines that you can pour all your change in, and then.
Well, actually, this is made for like when you're at the cash register.
Okay.
That they don't have to take out the money because it's so compact. Usually, this was a very big machine in the back office, but this is like sorting the money which you get in, and then after that it can pay out with these tubes here. It can pay out at the bottom. So that way, you don't have to do the usually at the end of the day, they get out the money and then they have to count it. But there's always stuff that goes wrong with that. So this way you have a closed loop system. It never leaves the cash register. So there's a companion thing for with notes. So all recycling. But yeah, that was like I was a contractor for this, but I made almost everything for it. So, but I made different. I was in this business for all some other products, which are like it's almost there's some gaming systems also. So it is very related to Bitcoin or to blockchain. Only I made machines for the old way of doing it. So, and then it was very easy to make this connection, you know. Oh, I have these machines already made and I can do it myself because I started my own company to make my own products. So, yeah, I made
that was the company M2 Tech?
Yeah. I made some roof safety systems as well. So, yeah,
wow, okay.
I make all kinds of different stuff, but
more your background is in like payment processing and.
Yeah, I've done that before. So, this unit was like a cool thing to build.
That is cool. I love that.
So this will be your first foray into like crypto payment processing with the projects that you're working on now.
Yeah. Well, it's for my first try for Catalyst because it seems like a very interesting way of working together. I think it's very interesting to work in a decentralized manner. So it's something I would like to build out further for payment systems.
Yeah, this is much needed right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, you mentioned your projects in Project Catalyst, and I know you had a Fund 5 that project that was funded, which was the paper wallet.
Yeah, that's the one. That's yeah, this one.
What's it called?
Can you tell us more about that one?
Yeah.
Well, it's a point of sale system.
Okay.
Basically, but the initial idea was to have the community helps, like for Grow Cardano, Grow Africa. That was to have them there so you can sell a paper wallet, like a paper that you can start to have an address and some ADA to begin with. Because if you have the address, but you don't have a phone or something else, I mean, you can photocopy it and then send it to somebody or make a picture and send it to somebody. And then from all over the world, you have like a bank account.
Right.
Without having a phone even. So that was the initial idea, that it's very easy to have all this, very easy to onboard people. So that was this terminal 4, but you can use it for other stuff as well. It's like to sell this ADA, you can also use it as a payment terminal.
So that was in the Grow Africa, Grow Cardano Fund Challenge.
Yeah.
Is anybody utilizing that? Like in like, are you working with any communities in Africa, or was it just in that challenge setting because it's helping with the adoption of ADA?
Yeah, but I've also had some contact with the
WADA group.
WADA, yeah, I've spoken with WADA, and they're interested as well, but it's not finished yet, so I have to. This is like I had something working, and I wanted to show it to people. So yeah, I mean, after this, I'm going to build 5 prototypes, and I'm sure I'm going to send one to WADA. So yeah, this prototype. So it's all an experiment. So after I think I can easily get these 5 units somewhere. So I have numerous people who are
Sign me up for
interested.
one.
Yeah, sign me up for one too. I have a question. I have a question for you, Maarten.
I think I have not enough.
Well, I mean, we can also build these ourselves, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah, that's the other solution. Yeah.
So, can you walk me through how the device works? That point of sale terminal for the paper wallet. How does it work? What does somebody do? They walk up to it, and how does it work?
Yeah, we go to that part now. It's ready for it.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't want to truncate any other introduction information, Ron. So
let's let him talk about his other Project Catalyst proposal that he has, and then we'll go through an actual live demo.
Cool. Okay.
So yeah, you also have some Fund 6 proposals in, and they're kind of, one of them is iterating off your paper wallet. But can you tell us more about the World ERP, that the project that you have a proposal on, and then the open hardware, and then we can do a demo of how this the point of sale device works.
Yeah, so the open hardware is because this is designed in such a way that everybody can make it. So I have here like these are silicone molds, and what you can see here is the top part. So this is printed, but this is the blue thing is the same part. So you 3D print the bottom, and then you can put this in, and you can make this mold. So there's like another piece, and then you can make with silicone molds. You can make this is like a polyurethane you pour into this hole. There's like some air holes in here, where I had to experiment for what is the best solution for it. But now it's the design is finished. It's actually not that hard. If you 3D print some parts, you can build it yourself with if you have some silicone rubber and some polyurethane rubber, you can build it. It costs you like $600 or something like that in materials. And you need a 3D printer, of course, with the correct size. But it is it's not like something you do like in 5 minutes, but with a little bit of work, everybody can do it. So yeah, the 3D printing, it depends on how fast your printer is, but that can take a couple.
So which piece is 3D printed again?
It's this part.
The mold is the 3D printed part?
This is a part of the mold. This is a part where you can make the mold with.
Okay.
So
and
you
the mold is made out of silicone.
So you print this, and then you make a wall around it, and then you pour it, and then you have this.
Got it.
So that gives you. So that gives you the top part, and then is that same piece for the bottom?
When you have that, you put this is like the real piece that is the end product. You can put this on there, and then you put a wall around it again, and then you make this one. And then
so you have to have that end piece to be able to create the top mold?
Yeah. So yeah, and this top mold depends on how smooth you make this. So you have to put some spray, how do you call it?
Spray adhesive or?
Release.
Yeah, it's to make it smooth. But
make it smooth, okay.
So
Lubricant.
Yeah.
Well, it's like paint. There's what you undercoat or something before you spray paint a car.
Oh, filler.
Like a primer. Okay.
Filler.
Spray filler.
Yeah.
Spray filler.
Spray filler. Yeah. That's the English word.
So this looks like an opportunity to me, like that somebody could start producing these and then sell them for the work that they're putting into this.
Yeah. I mean, in some countries, it's very hard to import stuff. So if you have, it's not so hard to import silicone rubber. I mean, it's used for a lot of stuff. So, I mean, if you have a free blockchain and you have a free design for it, everybody can make their own point of sale system. So if you then have not access to liquidity, you can make your own shop anyway, which I think is very interesting, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that way you can sell it as a normal product, but if it's hard to get it in some places, you can make them yourself as well, if you need to.
So just to clarify, so this is a point of sale service, so people can take their debit card and swipe and get a paper wallet with Cardano immediately?
No,
Okay.
that doesn't work like that.
Okay, so how does sorry, I don't want to jump it. I'm so excited. Sorry, guys. I've got to see how this thing works.
It is possible to connect a PIN terminal to this one.
Okay, that is possible then.
It takes some work because you need to. Your bank has like this PIN terminal. They usually are USB connected nowadays, and they usually use a REST API. So it's just you go to a you go to localhost port something on the device, and then you send just amounts, and you get back only OK or cancelled. It is very simple. I mean, what do you need to say to each other? Mm-hmm. This PIN terminal is all self-contained. So you just say $50, and then you swipe enter, and then you get OK back, and then you have to poll for this OK, and if the OK is received, you say, oh, it's validated, done. So yeah, it's usually they all talk a little bit differently, but it's usually very, very similar. So
thank you.
If you have like a bank and you call your bank, you have like a business, you can get these terminals, and usually there's just a manual in it, I think. So, I mean, banks don't want to do integration with all the ERPs that are in the world. I mean, yeah, usually companies have to do that themselves. So.
Right. So what's your idea behind this like world ERP?
I use Odoo, but it has some drawbacks. It is not on the blockchain, of course. The main drawback, which, I mean, an ERP on the blockchain is like, it's gonna happen, right? Right. I mean, that's something that needs to happen anyway. So it's a ledger. So ERP is a large part of Odoo is that it's a ledger. Only they decided to make that one. That part that makes it really easy to work with, closed source, or it's like they may have it's like a shared source. Some parts are free to use, some parts are not free to use. It's very annoying.
I'm not really that familiar with Odoo. Is that like a public ERP like that, or how do companies interact with that, or how do?
It's like a full-scale accounting system, which also does a web shop. And the cool part, I think, is that your accounting is almost completely automated because you just hook up your accounts to products. So you say product. I mean, on this demo, the demo data uses chairs. Chair, you say just chair ends up in this account. And it's all integrated so that also the taxes, so value-added taxes, also automatically going into the right place. So it's too bad that everybody still sends paper invoices, which are hard to process. Mm-hmm. But if everybody would just send each other QR codes, you could send your accountants home with this system. It is so easy. So I think if you put that on the blockchain, you would not need to say you have two companies on the blockchain which use this same ERP system. I mean, it's just a collection of UTXOs, right? Yep. Everything goes like this. And then it's the next layer. And then it's the next layer. But the where you draw the line between this company or that company is arbitrary, right? Just like you draw the line between this is about these chairs. So that is what you define in software. I think it probably needs Hydra, because if you want to do accounting on the blockchain, it needs to be very cheap, because you don't want to have every accounting action to cost 30 cents or something. That is a little
Right,
bit.
and then how much do we really want to be storing on the blockchain?
Yeah, but yeah, something like a lot of stuff about your company is already transparent, and you have this thing about radical transparency. But you could also make the blockchain local. But it would be really cool now if you send money to another company, it goes through all these kind of layers of software, like goes to the bank, translated into their ERP system. I don't know what they have. And it again goes to another bank, translated again. But if you have blockchain, it just goes one UTXO further, done. It's so much simpler. That is what I think is very interesting about the ERP system. And that's why I made it world ERP, because if everybody is on it, all accounting is very simple. And you could, I mean, in every country at the end of the year, they say, oh, we've done this. And now you can do every second, you know, where you are, as the whole world knows. It's kind of
Yeah,
out there.
imagine there'd still be like the private ERP systems, and then maybe like a summation of a lot of transactions that would be put on the blockchain that you want to publicly report.
Yeah, it could be, but that is with the blockchain. It's much easier to automate it all, because the way you structure your data is already a lot more constrained. So you have to just spec out what is contained in a UTXO to make it an accounting UTXO, and then you can. But it's something you need to discuss with people, how that would look, right? What do you need to make that work?
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
It's something which I think is very interesting, but yeah, I know I've done too much already, but I couldn't help myself in not putting this idea out there. So I already made some contact with people who are from Odoo originally, who think the same way about that Odoo has some deficiencies, or that it could be better. But I think there's always also with ERP, like in Odoo, it's you make money on the add-ons. And that was very noticeable, that there were parts missing in the ERP system, which are necessary. So that you would need some person in the know to fix something which shouldn't be broken. There were like reports were difficult to build. I mean, reports should be just standards should be okay already. I mean, if you print an invoice, it shouldn't be not okay looking. So right. You would need to have a consultant create nice reports for you.
Okay.
It's a little bit like it's nonsense.
That should just be part of like the standard feature.
Yeah, and there were lots.
You should be able to customize your reports and everything.
Yeah, there were lots of these little things where you're like, really? Does it really need a consultant for that? I think that is not the right business model, because you see that in a lot of ERP systems where like they already build the add-on, but they keep it private, so that every customer comes, oh, I really need it. Oh, really? Yeah, we'll have to build it for you. And then they sell it hundreds of times. And then they are incentivized to leave out parts which everybody needs, which have already been paid for by somebody. I think that doesn't really work. So I think blockchain could be very interesting, where you have like every accounting action could be like a micro payment. Like if it costs 0.01 cent to do an accounting action.
Okay.
It could add up, right? But nobody will really notice all that much. And if you're a heavy user, like a big company pays more. If you're a small user, you pay almost nothing. It's like
that model, I think, is definitely gonna get used a lot more. and it
It's
won't be
like
so
a stake pool.
predatory.
You could also make maybe money with a stake pool on a side chain, like idea. I don't know. That is what I think is interesting.
So yeah, one of the ideas about this project that really got my attention was that potentially a stake pool operator could have this and use this to onboard new delegators and have them directly stake through their pool right through this device.
So you can default where the funds go. Is it through the device? Is that correct?
Not yet. I've not done the paper wallet part yet.
Okay.
So, but of course it will default to a stake pool, and of course it will be the stake pool that you would put in there as a buyer of the device. That was obvious, I think.
So let's say I wanted to put this on my website for people to get their ADA. Is that what you're saying? Am I understanding that correctly?
Well, this is more like a community, like if you have this device.
Physically out in the community.
Yeah, if you have like they have the community hubs idea, you could sell people paper wallets if they don't. I mean, for in Africa, that would be interesting. That they could just have a bare address where they could receive money from abroad for 30 cents, which for them is like a lot better than 30% what they pay now.
So let's say like in Las Vegas, we have the Terrible Herbs and they have a whole bunch of Bitcoin ATMs. And it's a very similar thing. You know, when you're done, it shows you a QR code and you scan it, and then it gives you that Bitcoin on, you know, it puts that on your phone through the QR. So does this print or show a QR? How does it display your paper wallet?
The paper wallet is in my idea, it's just a printer where you just print the access code
or the access code. Yeah.
So yeah, it's not super safe, but you could also, I mean, this has a touchscreen, so you could encrypt with a PIN code, like a 4-digit code. You could encrypt like a user supplied code, the entry key.
Okay.
But then you would need another step to decode it for people to enter it. So
later. Okay.
It is a work in progress, that one.
Can you show us the latest that you have? Just do a walkthrough and tell us like what's happening at each step of the way.
I show you the game changer. I just dropped something. Still connected?
Yes, yeah, we're still here.
I showed you the game changer part.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm looking for some game changers.
So is this Odoo that we're looking at on the screen here? Yeah, it looks like it, right?
Yeah, this is just like it's just like a web browser, if you can see it.
Yep, yeah, we can see it.
Yep.
So Odoo is completely web-based. I mean, this is a point of sale interface, but it's just a website. So just put it on full screen. And then you can say, this is some chairs. So if I say, I want to buy a chair, you see that here that there's some, it's like €16.50. I mean, you can configure that for every product. It's very easy. And then you enter the stage where I'm done. I can go to payment. And then you see here the total. And then you can say, well, I want to pay with cash, bank, or Cardano. So you select Cardano, of course, because it's better.
Yep.
And then you have to watch what happens here at the QR code.
Okay.
So can I get a point of view?
Yeah, it's slightly cut off a little bit, but
Yeah,
there we go.
like this.
So you configured it with Cardano, and then you hooked it up to this payment processor.
Yeah, and I said send. So I send it to the device, and then you see, oh, QR code changed. And it says this is the customer facing part, and this is the vendor facing part. So he now sees the QR code, and there's here like use the Game Changer app to scan the QR code. Well, it's not working like that actually, but you can use just your phone to scan the QR code, and then you get an URL to Game Changer, and then you get redirected to the Game Changer wallet.
Gotcha.
Because Game Changer is just a website, but it's also a wallet. So then you see this this transaction, and you say confirm, and it gets added to your.
Oh, that's the mnemonic phrase. So yeah, right now I think Game Changer wallet, they require you to put your mnemonic phrase in each time, but I think that will be changed soon.
Yeah, so I have it on backup as a copy, so I can paste it really quickly in there. But you should then go to your debit card. So the URL does nothing automatic. So you cannot get scammed or something. You have to first review it in your debit card. So then you say preview, yeah. And it says the amount and the fee you pay. So it now says $16.50. Say, oh yeah, that's correct. I just bought, I wanted to buy this chair. So I say execute. And then the transaction is sent to the blockchain. So now it's out of my wallet. I've now paid. And then you have to wait a little bit for it to go to confirm. And I hope it works. It's not super quick on the testnet, but I'm not sure. I didn't really optimize it, and there's like some. I poll the blockchain, but it's like every 3 seconds, so it can be sometimes quicker, sometimes slower. I have to really check that out still. So I had something basic working, and then that is what I want to show. So yeah, that is. It's always interesting with these demos. Usually they don't go well. It's always, hey, it works.
Hey,
it works.
That's a good
You
sign.
got it. Awesome.
So, here you can say payment successful. Can you see that? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I did see that change. That's awesome.
And then you say validate, and you go to the next order. And that's it.
So for what we were talking about, if somebody wanted to buy some ADA and stake to your pool, would you also be interfacing with Odoo or just?
Yeah, that would be another. You would like just have another product, which says ADA.
Have a stake pool there.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then you say, I want to buy ADA, just like you would buy a chair. And you can enter values here. So you can say, oh, this 1650 is not good. I want to change the price. And then I want to sell you for 80 ADA. And then you go to payment. And I mean, you can do everything with Odoo. So you have to do something special in that where you enter this price, it gets automatically added to this receipt, where it needs to do some extra steps after this, that it will also create like the wallet and also print the mnemonic on the receipt. So yeah, But in this way, you would go here, and then you would receive. Would put cash. So then you would receive cash, and you would sell somebody ADA. So after this, you would print the receipt with the mnemonic and the amount and the address, and somebody would, and also a QR code probably, where people could easily scan it,
Right.
and then open a wallet like in Game Changer or whatever, and then it would automatically could be opened, and then you would have your wallet like that. But it could be completely non-digital, or in any way for the person buying the ADA.
And then to get like card payment accepted, that's just a matter of getting what did you say?
The PIN.
The PIN processor.
Yeah, PIN processor.
Yeah, you could also do that, because that is the bank part. I mean, you could also select bank, but you have to make a special payment processor. But it is almost exactly the same as what I've done here. So, I mean, this works like a PIN terminal for Odoo.
Right.
Only it has a much better display than it usually is on a PIN terminal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the funny thing is that the computers are so good now that the Raspberry Pi can run the whole point of sale system on the PIN terminal. So the PIN terminal it's like switched around. The PIN terminal, Cardano PIN terminal, is the point of sale system instead of it is hooked on to. Right? I think that's always interesting, that technology advances and then.
So how far away would you say this project is? Like, how much more development is needed to get it to a point where like the prototypes that you're going to be sending out could be used and like deployed in physical locations and start being used like in shops if somebody wanted to put one in like the retail store?
I have to do some checking of the. I mean, there's some error situations, but there's not a lot, because I use Python Cardano as an interface to the blockchain. It's very stable, very easy to work with. It's nothing special. But Odoo is it's already an old ERP system, so there's nothing going wrong with that. I just have to see when a transaction gets cancelled, and I have to optimize maybe a little bit with the time, and also I want to first have an apt repository, because it's running Ubuntu, so that maybe that's the first thing I do, because it's now almost working. That if it's working enough, and I've verified a little bit, if I have an apt repository, people can update the point of sale system themselves. And I have to put the programs on my GitHub, and then everyone can join the party in making it better. I mean, you can put all kinds of products and services on this. You could even sell DeFi in a physical shop.
Sure. Yeah, and then I mean, Game Changer, while it has the ability to mint NFTs, I mean, is that something that you think that you could do like right from this device too? I mean,
yeah, everybody, you could sell NFTs with this one in a shop,
or like at a live event or something. Like I could totally see that.
Yeah.
I mean, we have like a stadium here. We have a stadium with players, and we have casinos. I'm from Las Vegas, Martin. So the application to be able to go into a casino and get some sort of keepsake or NFT of that casino through this terminal, a one of a kind, let's say, is an interesting prospect, because having these in those buildings, being able to issue that at will it's kind of very Vegas. People would love this ability, I think. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of applications, but this is built as a prototype, because the way I've built it with the Silicone Molds is very cheap, because you don't know what is this going to go, which direction is it going to go. I mean, I've also have a place in the unit for camera, but I wanted to keep it a little bit more simple at the moment. So I wanted to get the lowest barrier of entry, and also something that scales a lot and is usable everywhere. So everybody can make it themselves, this unit, but I could, if there is very high demand, I can make it in a different way that you can make it in China, or you can make it with injection molding. You can make 1,000 parts in a day. So you can make 1,000 or 1,000 in a week with assembly.
Yeah, if you have a high demand, you can put up the money to build a mold then.
Yeah, but we could do that via Catalyst, and then we can keep the prices very low.
So the one of the other things, because I'm very interested in this as a stake pool operator, and I want to do a lot more like physical meetups and stuff like that. So I think this would be amazing to have in doing those. I like the picture that you had in your Catalyst proposal where you could do like the LED light branding on the side.
That is a different product.
That's a different product, okay.
But it can be used in conjunction with this, yeah.
Well, it's basically.
So that was the mini ATM then, right?
Yeah, I can show you the three. If I share my screen, I can show you it's in 3D if you want.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you have ability to share. So is the idea to use this payment processor with the main ATM as well, or are these two separate?
Actually, from my point of view, as I know all the insights, it is almost the same device. Only there's an automated a dollar bill or an automated bill acceptor. So with this device, you leave it to the vendor to accept money.
Okay.
And with that device, you don't need the vendor to be present. It can be all automated. So people can just put in money.
You can just put it in like a hotel lobby or something.
Yeah, but it's not a device which you can leave completely unsupervised. So it's not a safe.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
These devices are a lot more expensive and usually more higher volume. But the one I made is more for fun. So it's in a shop where the vendor is present. Somebody can mess around with it. You know, it lowers the barrier to entry. If you need to go to the vendor desk and say, "Oh, I want to buy some Cardano," maybe that's not something, or you want to buy some NFTs, or you could do that in an automated way. I think that lowers the barrier to entry.
Sure.
I love it.
I can show you.
So is the idea with like that mini ATM where you can brand it with like your own stake pool or something like that? Is that going to be like open hardware as well? So
yeah, that's what my idea is, because I'm not a big manufacturer, but you want to scale this stuff. So it's not, if Catalyst can already provide the funds to make the design, maybe that is more interesting, that you can have the design also open source, just like the blockchain is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can scale everywhere where you have manufacturing capability. You could, with some guidance, start manufacturing these units. So I think that is also interesting. If I would say, I want to make all these devices, but I think it's kind of weird because Catalyst already paid me for the design. So I think that is not really how it could work and should work, because it's if say the payment terminal is very successful, maybe I cannot even fulfill all this demand, or maybe I don't really want to do it in that high way, because then I would be not anymore a designer. I would be a manufacturer and selling.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's right.
And because this ecosystem should be all decentralized, maybe you can also do the manufacturing decentralized in some way. I mean, I can always help, and there's always like modifications that have to be made. So for some people want something different, the market changes, there needs to be a different note acceptor. I mean, for me, that sounds interesting. It's already been for me, this payment terminal was already profitable. So I mean, I don't have that high cost of living, so I think that, and it's very interesting. And I think just like everything else that comes from it, it's like there's so much to do. I'd rather do more than keep it to myself.
Yeah,
It's the Cardano way.
I think we all share that in the Cardano community.
But manufacturing is hard, so yeah, I'm not sure that could be a stumbling.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about. So when you're designing this, I mean, how much are you taking into account like a layperson like that doesn't have like design experience or manufacturing experience being able to, I mean, like, because the payment processors seem straightforward enough. I mean, if you still have to get that 3D printer and print out that piece, and I'm sure you kind of struggled with like the air bubbles and stuff and had to kind of troubleshoot all that. But do you see this as something that will be easy for somebody that doesn't have experience building devices and stuff like that to be able to create this?
I mean, the PayPad you can 3D print it, but that's of course very slow. So you can only make one for yourself, probably. And if you go silicone mold, I mean, then the product price is like 30 euros, I think, for the plastic part. And if you go injection molding, it is like €1 or €2 for the parts. So every step it gets a lot cheaper and faster. But of course, manufacturing is not for the lay people. So
No.
But it is, I mean, the injection molding step is more complicated and much more expensive than actually the device you see here.
Mm-hmm.
It has the same display actually, and also Raspberry Pi inside. But this is just sheet metal work. So
Okay, so this is sheet metal.
to make this in volume, so if you want to make this in high volume, this is just, it is not detailed. I mean, this is just to see if everything fits and the design is correct.
So for like the different cutouts to put the LED lights in there, like, are you like envisioning like if somebody were to manufacture these like a laser cut or something like that?
I mean, this is polycarbonate. You can order this very easily in a lot of places where they have a laser cutter. I'm not sure. Maybe they also have water jets or something else. There's a lot of places where you can just order polycarbonate because it's used in signage and stuff like that.
I mean, there's quite a few schools that have a lot of that equipment where like they're teaching students in manufacturing technologies. I mean, I could totally see like these like this type of project like taking hold in some universities where they're teaching people on how to use that equipment.
Yeah, I mean, this equipment is also getting better and cheaper. So, yeah. The way you can see here is the LEDs that shine in this way.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, because it's transparent, you can see the LEDs directly. And if you paint the sides white, you can also, the light gets also through the sides. So that's the way. Yeah, it's not in the optimal position here for this this text, but I think you have to move it up probably. So there's some minor details, but yeah. And then the expensive part on this one is of course this unit. It's like a simplified version of something, but it is something you can buy. But it's from a manufacturer who's very, yeah. You can just, as far as I could tell, and I've been in contact with them. You can just buy this on their websites. And for the dollar, it's so of course the dollar is very common to have this. So for the dollar and the euro, it works, but it's a little bit more difficult in Africa because, for example, India, it's the paper is not replaced as much as in Europe and in US, so it's not so friendly.
You're gonna get a lot of bills that get rejected because it can't.
Yeah, and they get stuck and to tear.
Sure.
In our business, we call the toilet paper. It is, it's kind of like that after a while. So
I mean, toilet paper is more valuable.
Maybe. It could be that the case in some African countries could be, yeah. So if you have if you need like 10 stacks of notes to buy a bread, this also doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
It is nice where labor is expensive, so that is where it is a good product usually. Where it's too expensive.
This device only works with accepting paper bills, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I mean this could be useful in this transitionary period, but I mean this may become obsolete like in the next like 5 to 10 years or so.
Yeah, it's true, but you should not underestimate the size of the note or the fiat currency is still pretty big. So, I mean, for us, I mean, in the Netherlands, we already transitioned maybe. The Netherlands is very, very, outside of everything else there where we have good infrastructure. So there's very few places where you need to pay with cash, and almost nobody does that. Even if you go to the gas station, you cannot even pay in a lot of locations with cash.
Really? Okay.
They say we don't have. It's yeah, I've seen that before. It's kind of, yeah. So, but in France and in Germany, a lot of people are still cash. So it is definitely useful in the transition, but I don't say it's 20 years, but I mean, 10 years is enough. I think this device is still useful. But yeah, if you wait long enough, it will not be. It is kind of old-fashioned.
Right. So actually, we are at an hour now, but I wanted to open it up to any questions anybody has. We still got Gary here, James is here, Fletcher's here. If anyone has any questions, and then actually Town Hall is going to be starting, so then we'll jump over to Callus Town Hall.
Yeah, I will be too.
I'm actually just really excited for the technology. Matthew, if you could reach out to me, I want to look more at your point of sale terminal, that small one. I'm meeting up with our university here in Las Vegas, and we're going to be, doing some discussions and some development on information. And this is the type of thing I would love to have in that environment. There's a whole bunch of test environments that they use. And I would love to see this terminal in that environment. So when people are learning about Cardano, they could also walk over and utilize that terminal and buy some for fun, just to kind of play with it. So please, put me on your list. If you're going to issue or send any of these out or send out the specs on how to make one, please make sure I get it, because I would really like to put it in that environment.
Yeah. Yeah, I will. I have some people on the list, and I will see if it's possible.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Cool.
All right. Well, if there are no more questions, I'll just say, Maarten, thank you very much for taking the time and walking us through and giving us a demo. I'm very excited about this. This has a lot of potential, and it's something we need right now in the Cardano ecosystem, so that we can onboard people that don't already know about crypto and show people the value that we're bringing with these decentralized systems.
Absolutely.
Yeah, please vote on my project so I can build this maybe
to be ecosystem of devices which work with the blockchain.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll get my vote for sure, Matt.
You got my vote.
Cool.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
Ready to
Yeah,
pop
thank you
over?
everyone for coming.
Okay, man.
See you over in town hall.
All
Thanks.
right, see you in a second.
All right, see ya.
Bye.